Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm joining Dolly, Lisa, Becky, and Laura today for a Multi-Photo Monday series. So they've started this series and I believe Lisa's stepping out for this week, but she will be back to join in on the Multi-Photo Monday goodness. So everyone's making layouts with at least 2 or more photos, usually a 12 by 12 layout, but there are some 8.5 by 11 sometimes. And this time I'm actually doing a double page layout. I already have a little bit of the planning done just so I didn't have to waste time pulling papers out of my paper pads, but I am working with my How to Kill a Kit with Style October kit. If you haven't seen that video, I'll have it linked down below, and I'll also have everyone else's videos linked down below from this challenge. So I'm using 6 photos on a double page layout today, and again, this is my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit, so I'm using this paper pad from Recollections, which is called Peaceful Blooms, I believe. And today I'm scrapbooking some DC photos. These are essentially a night and day viewpoints of some of the famous monuments and places we visited. So these are taken over the course of a couple different trips, but I thought this would be a really cool layout to do because it's a different perspective of the different monuments side by side. So on the left side you can see the Washington Monument on the bottom left, the Capitol building in the top position, and then the bottom is actually the Botanic Gardens. So that's a really cool place to visit if you haven't already. Obviously the 2 are some of the other major monuments, so definitely recommend the Botanic Gardens if you haven't been yet. They were very beautiful and they change depending on the time of year. Now I'm trying to work on some embellishing. So you can see that I have an AM and a PM pocket page card, and those are from Ellie Studio. They are from an older set, which I don't think is available anymore, but if it is, I'll have it linked down below. Here I'm using some of the excess strips from the opposite sides pages coloring piece here. So I have the light blue strip on the right side because there's a square on the left hand side, and vice versa for the other color. Adding additional strips of washi tape on the 2 sides there just to give it another accent of silver. So the paper pad that I'm working with has silver accents on it, like you can tell on the background there. And I just felt like this part made it more cohesive to kind of stick with the silvers and the lighter tones. So the light gray, even with that little bit of dark gray, which kind of enhances the nighttime photos, and then the lightish blue color really pulls out some of those colors. Since these were taken at different times of the year, you can tell in the bottom right photo on the left-hand page, there's some fall colors in the trees. I didn't want to pull that out since none of the other pictures were taken during that time, or at least I can't tell because there isn't any indication of that. And the nighttime photos obviously have a lot more darker color, so I wanted to keep the rest of it light and airy to kind of give your eye some places to rest. Now this is a relatively busy layout, so I keep my embellishing quite simple. Once I figure out the grid layout for my pictures, and all these pictures are 4 by 6. If you'd like to accomplish a similar layout with more photos, you can cut them down to 3 by 4 and crop them so that they fit better on this panel. And the pattern paper panels, the light blue and the dark gray, are 10 by 10, so I get a nice even border all the way around on the outskirts of that paper. So I'm just going to lay all those down, trying to make them butt up against each other as much as possible, and including my journaling cards, so I can talk about the differences between DC during the night and during the daytime. We've only been to DC in the nighttime a couple of times. We've always wanted to go to shows during that, like the later hours, but we never managed to do it. We usually went to DC's on Sundays because that's when parking is free for the most part. So that's why I have a lot of daytime photos compared to nighttime photos in my album. I have these Paper House Studio puffy stickers that I'm pulling out that are silver accents. I pulled out a geotag and some little chevron arrows, and I put those both on the AM and PM cards to give it more of a cohesiveness, and sort of definitely points your eye towards the other page. So no matter which page you start on, generally a viewer will start on the left-hand page because that's how we read. We'll look at the left, then look at the right. So it kind of makes your eye go flip back and forth. I included some other Ellie Studio pieces in this kit that I thought I might pull in, but I decided not to later on. I do pull out these Simple Stories silver foil stickers, and these are from the Life in Color collection. These are not the same shade of silver. I will say it's a little bit of a darker silver, but since they're both foiled, it gives the same effect. I have a couple of stickers here from the Reset Girl that I will not be using, but I do go through. I even thought about stamping for a teeny tiny bit, and then that idea went out the window quickly. You can also tell that I don't really have a title on this page yet, it just says AM, PM. And it's also really hard to tell where a title could go. especially with 2 pages. I do end up pulling out some stickers from this set, which I think is from Webster's Pages, because I'm not 100% sure. But I pull out some black and white elements from there to accent the silver and the dark grays. And it works nicely, and I will pull that back out for a couple of other things later. Next up, I start flipping through my sticker booklets. Obviously, I'm pulling outside of my stash now, or outside of my stash kit now, but that's okay. I pull out this puffy sticker from Mambi that says "Love This," and then I find these Heidi Swap stickers that are almost gone, and I'm like, this today is perfect. It was absolutely a beautiful day. Every time we've gone to DC, it's been pretty lovely. We haven't gotten caught in the rain too many times. It's been cold a couple times, but never like awful weather. So I used that one that says "Today," and then I used the geotags on this set to accent all of the photos. So I make sure that each of them have at least one geotag. I put one on each of the Washington Monument photos because they were taken at different places. So one we're actually at the Washington Monument, and then the other one I'm further away. And I believe we were at towards the Lincoln Memorial for that one. So it's definitely a different perspective, so kind of a different location, and if I really wanted to, I could go down and write on all of the adjacent to the photos where each photo was sort of taken to give it that sort of perspective and look. I thought about using some tiny word stickers on here, but I didn't end up doing that. It just didn't seem right. The ones that I did have, they just didn't seem like they'd fit. So you'll oftentimes see me flip through all of my stickers, mainly because I don't have too many stickers to go through, if that makes sense. Like, I don't have a huge stash. I do have a lot more things than other people, but I also tend to invest in things that last longer, like paper pads, tools, dies, stamps, those kind of things, and less in embellishments and paper. But don't get me wrong, I still have a lot of stuff. I just find that if I go through it, I find the thing that I want. So I end up going through my enamel section here, and I found these light teal. They almost match the background paper, but not exactly. Light teal colored enamel hearts. And then I find these really old Studio Calico pearls, and I use up, I believe, all of one color because I've got a lot of those to use, and some of them are absolutely huge, so I definitely want to use those up. I pull out this enamel camera, which is from the Paper Studio. It's just a lot of little bits and pieces on this layout. I don't want to do large embellishing because my photos and my journaling take up a majority of this page. So the title ends up just being "Today." I might put DC above it. I just didn't think of that at the time. So like DC Today, and then sort of night and day, sort of. I don't know. AM PM sort of gives the feeling of what this layout's about, so I don't really need an official title. I do pull out some of these mint-colored resin flowers and a flare from April Lily store, which was given to me as a freebie gift. Here's where I glue down the final elements, and that'll be it for this layout. Be sure to check out everyone else's pages down below. You don't want to miss them. Everybody loves a double or a multi-photo page layout, as do I. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe if you're new because you don't want to miss out on more double page and multi-photo layouts. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!